Oh yeah, welcome back to the Stanley Parable. And if I remember this game some time long ago, I don't remember too much about it, so I'm like going in half blind. It's English subtitles. Have you played the Stanley Parable? No. Where the computer is barely visible. It's barely visible. Oh, and it wants me to answer the exact time it is. 11:59. Can be. Wait, that's so weird. You can see it. Screen on his screen on his screen on his screen. It's cool. In the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
That is
And although
boring.
others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
What was that?
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in
work.
all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Because isn't this like a I don't have to do what he says, right? Check. Mic check. Yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Yeah, X does something.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office.
Yes.
But it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I know. Trying. Turn that off. Be my Valentine. Fucking Valentine. Damn, I can't even grab the cup. Am I going the right way? Just the meeting room. Uh,
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
what about the right door? See, I want to test this game already. You psych!
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I don't
and
care.
Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yep.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh, this is the employee lounge. What? That computer's on. Let me in! The door's open.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed
I want some
room.
sunlight.
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I want a drink. See, you can't even tease me like that.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit but eager to get back to business. Stanley took the first open door on his left.
What if I didn't?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Listen, bro, I'm exploring. I don't want to listen to you. Let's let Stanley be Stanley. I don't gotta follow no narrator. Warning: do not jump from the cargo lift while it is moving in motion. Will cause death. Penalty $1,000. Penalty for jumping. Whee!
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Yeah.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone
You?
you've forgotten about.
I want to
Please,
forget you.
Stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
Why can't I?
I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who the fuck is her? You threatening my
This
wife?
is it, Stanley.
You threatening my
Your
wife?
chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who's she? You know, or a weird narrator. Hello? What the fuck?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
What? What? What is happening? Sure.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
Ooh.
Okay, there we go.
Banana bread?
All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
Gotcha. Oh, come on.
What the fuck?
Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
I
They'd want
wish.
to commit their life to you.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something.
What?
Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Are you supposed to be that mannequin?
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh, fuck. I really can't. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me. Alright. Alright. Yeah. Let me out! Alright, whatever. What? What do you
This
want?
is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Whoa! I don't want to. I don't want to die. No, don't. But we can talk about this. Listen. All right. I don't know. I just went to work one day. Next thing you know, you're just you're taking control of my life. All right. I don't like what you're doing. All right. Now you're saying I'm going to die. No explanation. Do it quick. Right in the back of the head.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him.
Excuse me?
And every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
I try to press every other button, but triangle.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
That's all I
Now
can
he's
do, you
pushing a
dummy.
button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
See, I'm feeling really, I'm feeling really offended right now. I don't want to press it because you're gonna make. Oh look, he's pressing X. He's doing a good boy thing. I didn't even know you could crouch. Oh, there's 2 buttons to crouch. Okay. Watch.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown. Fantastic discoveries of new lands.
Like what?
It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he
Spend
went
time with the
further.
boys.
He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Prepared dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible
Did this
paths and
change?
destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
I think this area changed.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Why am I gonna die? Why do I go? What? I tell my wife I love her.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
No. Yeah, I want to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world, he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop.
I don't want to listen to
Watch
you.
this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley.
Yeah, fuck
Not
you.
so different, I suppose.
Let me do
I'll
me.
try once more to convey all this to him.
No.
I'm compelled to.
Shut
I
up.
must.
No.
Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
No.
And I tried again.
Please
Stanley pushed a
die?
button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
What just happened? What? Huh? What? 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 Hello?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
But
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I was gonna say the same thing if I keep touching everything.
Stanley went around touching
Yeah.
every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Alright, alright. Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Sure, let's go left. Let me in. Wasting electricity. Turn that computer off. Alright.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Hello.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Yo, what was that first part all about, bruh? I'm in a loop. I'm in a big loop.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Well, give me a second. Don't tell me what to do. That's why I didn't listen to you in the first place.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow.
Hey!
Just an
Hey!
empty broom.
Shut up!
To still be here.
Shut up!
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No. I don't know. I might just go to my boss's office. Okay. What's this? There's a no! It says something! Hi, Janie. Hi, Lane. I worked this in first paid and left it in your locker on the... Dude, I can barely read that. I don't even know if I'm supposed to.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
No.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished?
Yes.
His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley.
What?
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Maybe.
All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
Look at this.
None of it made any logical sense.
There's a coffee.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
What the
Why
fuck?
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
This is all a dream.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
I'm in a
He thought to
dream.
himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
What the?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so
I was
much
floating.
fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
Look at this.
How was he remaining so lucid?
This is so
And then
crazy.
perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep,
No.
he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all,
I'm in
he
a
was
loop.
certain beyond a doubt that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Fuck!
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Well,
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
huh?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Never the end is. I can't get time to read it. So it's literally a loop. Okay. This is probably going to be the only part of this game. Oh, let's see. Let's try to. I don't know. Let's do something different.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I don't know.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Shut up.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Not a single.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. I'm gonna try every, like... executive bathroom. I wanna try it. Wow. What the fuck? Money in the morning. Money in the evening. Money for breakfast. Money crisp. It's like a fucking commercial. Nope. Hello, my hot. So these doors are actually open. You can actually open this. How is it? Oh. Wait. Is this his office? This is his office. I don't know if I want to go in. There's an elevator over here. If I take it to go up. Let's go up to the sky. I'm gonna fly so high. Hey, what? Hey, What? Hey. What? Hey. Huh? Yeah, step forward. Hey. Hey. And step forward. What? Hey. Hey, is it, am I, how far up am I going? I just realized, how big is this building? Hey, G. And step forward. I gotta wait till the song's over or something? Bro, how high am I going? Should we just let it roll? I'll give it another minute. Give it one more minute. And step forward. Alright, cuz. Well, hey. You're fucking joking. Well, I did all that for nothing.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
He's gonna be so surprised.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code.
Yeah,
by
random.
sheer luck.
Yeah, random
Amazing.
buttons.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Well, fine. If I get a chance to not listen to you, I'm gonna do it. Take it. We're going down.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
Peculiar.
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now?
Yeah,
When
why
for
am I-
years It had
well-
never occurred to him. This question would not go unanswered for long.
What the fuck was that? Spark?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape. Who wrote this? Somebody had to write this. It was either me. It had to be me that wrote that. Mind Control Factory. Psych.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it,
Yes,
the truth
sir.
was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Really? No, you're lying to me. No. You're. That's not true. Is it? I wouldn't know. No. You're lying to me. You're lying to me. See, I want, as much as I want to listen to you, I don't want to. You said at the end of the hall. So not here. It's a pretty long hall.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Right? But you said, I don't believe you. Should I listen to him? I'm gonna die. Is it... do I want to... It's gonna eat at me if I don't. It's gonna eat at me if I don't go. I gotta know if he's lying to me or not.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward
Yes.
and willingly confront his death.
This is... No, I'm not gonna die. I'm probably gonna die. Yeah, I don't. It's. Hello? Don't pop out. Is that really death? YOLO!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his
Oh!
demise, he reflected that his life had been of no
Wait!
consequence
I
whatsoever.
thought it was
Stanley
Shoki!
can't see the bigger picture.
No!
He doesn't know the real story.
No, I
Trapped
do.
forever in his narrow
Please,
vision, like
I'm
this
sorry.
is.
Listen.
Perhaps his death was of no great loss.
Look,
like
look,
losing the eyeballs
look,
to the blind
look.
man.
Let's just talk
So he
about this.
resigned
Okay,
and willingly
look.
accepted this
I'll
violent
listen to
end
you.
to his
I will
dreamy
promise I
shadow
will
life.
listen to you. No, listen. I will listen. I promise. I'll listen.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated, as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing
No.
him instantly.
Oh. Oh. I'm not dead? I'm alive? I'm alive! I'm alive!
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as
Oh.
alive as ever.
Really?
What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I can't see. Oh. Um. Stanley Parable. Yep. Playing.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh. Oh. Well, that's an interesting thought. Nature. Nature painting? Oh my god. Look. Go out the office. This is blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. And the path of Stanley's office to the two doors. Part game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first interior. Whatever. Two doors. The set of two doors was the very first piece of Stanley's design. One of the doors was created for the rest of the game as extension of it, and explored the condition room pose. I don't know if I read that right. I can't fucking. The office. Ooh. 3 buttons. The section, the sounds used. Game. Huh. Office computers. Based on the work of the Stanley Parable 2013 team, additional leave design. Oh. This is credits. Did I beat the fucking game or some shit? This is crazy. Over here. The entry an early version of it. The Office. What's over here? I want to go lock. boss's office. Really?
The big heavy runner's fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you.
What the fuck?
Then he pushed the number.
Mind control. This game.
Then he pushed the number 4. Nothing there? Shoot. Well, try the other one then. Stanley pushed the orange lever. And finally,
Order dialogue of the entire game, bruv.
Stanley pushed the big
3
red
separate
button.
times over 2 years of development. Wow. They're clips from early takes. We are not used.
Then he pushed the number 8. Now then, this elevator for sure will get him right back on track to where he was supposed to be in the story. And finally, he pushed the number 9.
Huh. This must be a big ass game. Freedom ending. This was the very first incarnation of the freedom. The game's alpha. That's one of the endings, I guess, freedom. Do I press it? One of the desks isn't really count. I don't think I countdown room. Are these all places I haven't been? Something. That's the on and off switch. Yeah, it's beautiful outside. I can see it. Definitely dead. Zending. Screenshots. Early version. The ending known as the Zending. Which is eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. This is like my third ending. So this is a game with like 1,000 endings. I don't know if I can do this. This is definitely gonna be the last time. I got the secret ending already. I'm that fucking good. Trailers. This is supposed to be one of them. We ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of the game's development, which meant to convoy something about the spirit of the game. This is the first one released in May 2012. It features a series of broken rooms and the voice of the narrator informing viewers that he is preparing a new version of Stanley Parable. Huh. Meeting room. Options. Obey, disobey. What? Options would be hidden depending on. Real? What? Really? That is very strange. That is very strange. There's so many hidden like things in this game. How the hell? Previous version of the choice leading to the department ending. The timer would be 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Picking it up phone. Oh. So, oh. I think there was no timer. Yeah, see, look, there's a bunch of endings. Bunch of endings. Money. Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up in a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it, it was too far, too jokey, and on the nose for the time of the game. Some people interpreted it as making like shooters, which was not our intention. Yeah, I can see how that would be the case. This narrator's email. After the we can read this email. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had intentionally planned to use these further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are the selection emails. There is a skeleton inside you. There are more skeletons in this world than humans. That, I mean, that's very, yeah. I am Stanley. You spying on me? Question. Will the game feature capybaras? What? What's up with capybaras, dude? How do you stay in shape? Sincerely. Michael the Rock Martin. Are you gay? Are you gay? This is crazy. Next. Regarding your gaming works, I appreciate your previous Stanley Gaming that works in art and Stanley. I appreciate the credits given art. Dear narrator, will the Stanley premiere will be infinite questions? How many endings? How do you make an GRPG? What's the difference between a duck? That makes no what? How is the game going? Okay. All those damn emails. All those emails. Oh look. The office areas. Nice. Look, a place I didn't go to yet, because I got the secret ending so fucking quick. I'm that good at the game.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Alright, yep, I win. Just like that, I got the secret ending.
Can you see? Can
No.
you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not.
I can't see shit.
Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
What?
Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game.
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
I'm not
Stop
turning off my...
now, and it'll be your only true choice.
I'm not turning off my PlayStation.
Choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
Nope.
Don't let
I didn't want to turn off my fucking PlayStation. No. Really? Wow. That was crazy. Well, yeah, I'm gonna end the Stanley parable right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna do all the damn endings. That's gonna take fucking years and years and years. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.